Mr. Producer, I want us to go to Cut 3, Jerry Naddler of New York, left-wing kook, really, on CNN last night now. Everything we've talked about for the last, 2.5 hours? I want you to hear what Naddler has to say with Wolf Blitzer. Cut 3, go.
Do you believe Robert Mueller should agree to an interview with the president without questions, specific questions, being asked about obstruction of justice?
I think Mueller should insist on asking the president any questions that he thinks relevant to his investigation. Only he knows where the investigation is leading. Only he knows what the evidence he already has is, and only he can make that decision. And the president, I think, is duty-bound to answer any questions that the special prosecutor, special counsel, I should say, may ask.
Isn't this incredible? So the president should answer any question that the special prosecutor, he means special counsel, has, even with respect to exercising his presidential duties. Absolutely incredible and outrageous. But he's not alone. Jerry Connolly is a Democrat from Fairfax County, Virginia. He's as dumb as a doorknob. He's the guy that looks like a walrus in heat. And he's on with Blitzer, too. Cut 4, go.
Should Robert Mueller agree to an interview with the President of the United States?
So he brings on a conga line of left-wing kooks, makes a point by putting a question mark behind it to get answers he knows he's going to get, and that's called propaganda. And you say, well, we're the free press. We don't hate the people. We're not the enemy. Go ahead.
To ask questions about obstruction of justice.
I don't think that there should be limits on the special prosecutor. Donald Trump should be treated like any other witness and should not be dictating the terms. There can be conversations.
See, but he's not every other witness. He's the president, and that makes a difference. Democrat administrations have said it. Republican administrations have said they do not care about the rule of law. They do not care about law and order. They do not care about the Constitution. This is what they're all about. They want to unleash Mueller. They want to get rid of Trump. They want to reverse the election. These are appalling, appalling people. Go ahead.
But to actually take an entire conversation off the table, in this case obstruction, I think would be a disservice to justice.
So if they don't agree, if the president and his lawyers don't agree to be interviewed by Robert Mueller, that could go, there could be a subpoena, obviously. If he rejects the subpoena, that could go all the way to the Supreme Court.
But look at the stupidity that is displayed here by the nature of the questions and by the answers. Go ahead.
And you know what? It's about time we test that.
So it's about time we have a constitutional confrontation. I mean, what the hell, ladies and gentlemen? Just because the Chinese are on the move, the North Koreans, the Iranians are on the move, Russians are on the move, there's many things that a president has to attend to here. This guy is unencumbered with any information. This guy, Connolly, hasn't read a damn thing. He's just saying what he wants. What he wants, that's all. Go ahead.
Whether a president in a criminal matter can be subpoenaed. I believe that the president is like any other American and can be. Let's test that.
Yeah. So we've talked about this at great length. It's not a matter of whether the president can be subpoenaed. It's a matter of what happens once the subpoena is received. Physically, you sign a subpoena and you issue a subpoena. So that's not the question. The question is then what? But you're dealing with very, very stupid people here. They are partisan hacks. They don't much care about any of the rest of it. And that's what's going on. Now, Jay Sekulow won't come on the show. Rudy Giuliani won't come on the show. I don't know why. But they interview each other, which is actually quite novel. And Rudy Giuliani is on the Jay Sekulow radio show. I didn't even know Jay Sekulow had a radio show. I'm just being honest, but I guess so. Cut 2, go.
It's about time that it ends. I also think, and I hope the special counsel is as sensitive to it as we are, we do not want to run into the November elections. So you back up from that. This should be over with by September 1st. We have now given him an answer. He obviously he should take a few days to consider it. But we should get this resolved. If there's going to be an interview, let's have it. If there's not going to be an interview, then let him write his report. Honestly, he's got all the information that he needs. The interview will provide nothing in addition to what he already has.
Which is a very good point. So they just want to compare his answer to somebody else's and then raise the specter of obstruction or lying or what have you. My attitude is, Mr. Mueller, what is your constitutional basis for doing this? And a variety of other questions as requisite to any of this. So Mr. Mueller has to explain who he is, why he is, and what he thinks he can do. I think that's very important.